equipment, people, contracts, materials, the building blocks of successful construction. For 75 years, one firm has successfully used a very special mortar to join together these blocks. The mortar, the spirit and love of family. The family, Ghilotti. Our story begins at the turn of the 20th century. In the early 1900s, the Ghilotti family lived in the small Italian village of Grossio, north of Lake Como. They were stonemasons by trade, but work was so hard to find that it became clear the family must scatter to support itself. James Ghilotti and two of his brothers left for South Africa to work in the diamond mines. James's father and an uncle left for South America. Their hard work allowed them to send money home, and by 1909, James returned to Italy. But he found that money was still scarce, and payment for a job well done often came in the form of a goat, plus a couple of wheels of cheese and a salami. James, however, rather liked being paid in cash. He had become accustomed to it in South Africa. Then, lightning struck. A bolt from the blue. A letter from California. An uncle who had settled in there found that work and money were plentiful in his new home. James lost no time in gathering his family and coming to America to seek La Fortuna. James found his way to San Rafael to begin a new life with his beloved wife Amalia and their baby son William. (1914), a time of growth and prosperity in California, and a good time to start a small business. Also a good time to build a family. James and Amalia added 3 more fine sons and a daughter, Nancy, to their growing family. As they grew, so did the Ghilotti masonry business. Their masterfully constructed walls and concrete work sprang up throughout Marin County. Some of the earliest Ghilotti contracts included these massive blue rock walls in San Rafael, and the swimming pools at Catherine Branson School and at the Dominican Convent. Both pools, by the way, are still in use today. The Ghilotti brothers' stamp, set in concrete, can be seen today at many of these early projects. Sons Babe, Mario, Willie, and Dino each in turn joined their father's business. 1939, the Ghilott's first quarter century in America, and the occasion is hallmarked by the renaming of the company, James Ghilotti and Sons. The sons served their country in World War II. Miraculously, all 4 returned home safely to work once again with their father. The family, reunited, began to build Ghilotti and Sons in the booming post-war period. Paving and grading were added to the firm's specialties, a choice that was to prove fortuitous as the company grew. By 1950, James was 70 and felt it was time to pass on the torch, and so he sold the company to his sons. The Ghilotti Brothers Company was created with 12 employees, the 4 brothers and 8 workers. The company-owned equipment consisted of a D4 Cat bulldozer, a small loader, 2 dump trucks, a pickup, and a couple of compressors. A D6 went into service along with additional loaders and a brand new Gradall. A small roller and some new trucks rounded out the Ghilotti fleet. The Ghilotti brothers took on specialized roles to streamline their business operation. Willie became the estimator. Mario was in charge of grading and paving, and Dino managed the concrete crew. The company flourished, taking on more challenging projects with each new year. Large grading, paving, and demolition projects became everyday work for Ghilotti. Projects with heavier engineering demands also proved no obstacle to Ghilotti Brothers' growth. As Gilotti's skill and experience expanded, so did their area of operation, to include surrounding Bay Area counties. Through the years, hundreds of clients, some small, some large, every one important, have benefited from their association with Ghilotti Brothers. Every day, hundreds and thousands of Californians pass through or drive upon the fruits of Ghilotti Brothers' labor. For this splendid Marin County Civic Center, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, the Ghilotti firm completed the entire site improvements, including grading, paving, drainage, and retaining walls. Not far from the Civic Center is this 8-mile stretch of San Pedro Road from downtown San Rafael to Point San Pedro. This remarkable project was built in numerous stages over a 20-year period. The Miracle Mile in San Rafael, another important traffic corridor carefully completed by Ghilotti Brothers. Every structure has a useful life. When the life is at an end, the structure must often give way so that something new and even more useful can be created. When demolition is required, Ghilotti Brothers is as good at tearing down as they are at building. The removal of this outmoded San Rafael courthouse is a Ghilotti accomplishment. The Ghilotti firm is no stranger to projects requiring extraordinary environmental care. The old Southern Pacific Railroad yard at Point Tiburon was contaminated with lead, zinc, and discarded oil. Ghilotti Brothers took on the task of cleaning up the old yard. Thousands of yards of soil were removed and replaced with clean fill, and today the site is home to some 200 families. Some 250 homeowners at Marin Lagoon also have Ghilotti Brothers to thank. The infrastructure for this, the largest residential development in Marin in the past 10 years, was provided by Ghilotti crews. The firm also did the entire grading and site improvements for the Smith Ranch retirement community. In 1983, a series of ferocious storms battered the small town of Stinson Beach. Without help, a portion of the community might have been washed away. Ghilotti Brothers worked tirelessly over a period of 3 months, crafting a seawall. This wall will keep the waves at bay for years to come. Just 1 year later, Ghilotti crews fought and won the same battle at the seaside community of Pacifica. These achievements of the past 75 years are worthy of great pride. What is being achieved as Ghilotti Brothers enters the 90s does credit to the family's proud tradition. Dozens of projects are underway throughout Northern California. Roads, airports, commercial and residential developments, and major civic structures are slated for the coming years. The October 1989 earthquake devastated areas throughout the region. The damaged Bay Bridge has received international media attention. Almost overlooked in the drama of the fallen roadway was the major damage sustained by the approaches to the bridge. Ghilotti Brothers was called in to repair and repave the entire section leading up to the bridge. Another current project accelerated by the earthquake has been the Interstate 580 extension leading to the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. Ghilotti teams have been responsible for the grading, paving, and bridge work for Phase 5, now underway, and Phase 3, recently completed. Demanding schedules and exacting specifications have proven to be no obstacle to Ghilotti Brothers. A case in point is the massive paving and crushing project at the San Francisco International Airport. The contract called for a firm that could pave the entire taxiway without interrupting normal flight operations and without threatening delicate aircraft engines with dangerous dust, all within the confines of stringent airport security. The paving project was coupled with a plan to remove 70,000 yards of discarded rubble from old, replaced runways and turn it into usable fill. Only Ghilotti Brothers, with its tremendous organizational capability and its vast inventory of equipment, was capable of meeting the demands of the airport project. This unique crusher is capable of turning useless chunks of concrete into quality compactable fill. Challenging contractual demands have also been part of the San Francisco sewage plant project, next door to the famed Flyshacker Zoo. The need to protect the zoo animals from constant noise during the excavation for the upcoming sewer plant construction has resulted in a unique solution. A 60-foot high, 100-foot wide, and 300-foot long earthen sound berm is being created from the excavated dirt. All equipment on site is required to be sound suppressed to prevent any disturbance to the zoo animals. Not far from the zoo is College Heights in San Bruno. Here, some 40 lots are being prepared for single-family homes. The unique features of the site are steep slopes requiring massive retaining walls. Ghilotti crews are handling the precarious grading chores and supervising the subcontracted walls. 5 counties north and over 100 miles away flows Forsyth Creek, a tributary of the Russian River. Along its path will run 5 miles of brand new freeway, part of Highway 101. Completion is set for 1991. Here, Ghilotti has marshaled the biggest guns in its arsenal. A massive D-11 Cat pushing a squadron of 651 scrapers operates simultaneously with a fleet of bottom dump trucks filled by Gilotti's giant rubber tire loaders. This stretch of highway begins at the north end of Ukiah and runs 5 miles towards Willits. Equipment must cross the existing highway and climb a 35-degree incline to reach the excavation area. The 2-year Forsyth Creek project at $25 million is the largest state contract awarded to Ghilotti Brothers. In Vallejo is Northgate, a master plan project. This 1,400-acre site will accommodate 500 acres of open space, while the remaining 900 acres hold a 200-acre business park and 2,000 homes and apartments. The $50 million project will take 3 years and be completed in 1992. But before that, some 15 million yards of earth must be moved by the Ghilotti fleet. The existing hills on site will be trimmed by some 100 feet, while the valley is filled some 60 feet. All roads, sewers, site grading, and underground services are the responsibility of Ghilotti Brothers' workforce. In North Marin is the 100-acre Hahn Regional Shopping Center, requiring 1 million yards of dirt to be trucked in. Gilotti's management has developed a traffic flow system designed to alleviate the impact of hundreds of trucks on the heavy local commute traffic. Why has the Ghilotti Brothers construction firm been so successful? The answer lies in its people and their family spirit, and in its skill in organization and capital investment. Ghilotti Brothers is innovative in their approach to business. New ideas and methods are sought out, along with the most modern equipment. Capital is continually reinvested so that the firm can have at its disposal a first-rate, well-maintained fleet. The size of this fleet, now over 500 pieces of heavy construction and support equipment and over 200 trucks of all sizes, allows Ghilotti Brothers unparalleled flexibility in bidding, scheduling, and operation. The firm owns its own quarry facilities in Petaluma, Novato, and Cloverdale. Soon, a new major maintenance facility will open in Petaluma. The corporate office remains in San Rafael, with branch offices operating in Ukiah, Santa Rosa, San Francisco, Vallejo, and Richmond. Without good people, good equipment is useless. Ghilotti Brothers, however, will never be without good people. Over 500 people work for the firm and are considered part of the extended Ghilotti family. In some cases, generations of employees from the same family have worked for and with the Gilottis during the firm's 75 years. Grandsons have come to work where their grandfathers labored. Dozens of Ghilotti folks have been with the company for over 20 years, a few for over 40. Ghilotti Brothers does not only look inward, they have made community involvement and community support their tradition. Money, time, equipment, and materials are donated to facilities and events throughout the region. The numerous awards given to the Gilottis and those that work with them reflect this spirit of community giving. Community spirit, family spirit. It all originates with values and ideals passed on from generation to generation. For the Ghilotti family in America, that spirit began with James some 75 years ago. This year, total volume has exceeded $75 million. That's a long way from a goat, 2 wheels of cheese, and a couple of salamis. Ghilotti Brothers would like to take the opportunity on this special evening to thank each and every one of you for your part in bringing us to this exciting time in our history.